So behind me are rowan berries. They come in like these little clusters like this. And rowan berries are edible, but not raw. When you eat them raw, well, one is not going to kill me. I don't think they're poisonous. They're just like, ugh, very bitter, very sour and acrid. Not very good. Not very good at all. Tartness is like 7. Sweetness is like 1. A little bit of sweetness in there, maybe 2. But what you do with this is you cook it, and you can make juices and jams out of it, and that's supposed to taste really good. So I'm going to take a little bit of this and see if I can cook it and make it taste palatable. So I snuck away some of the rowan berries from that tree, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to prepare these in a way where they're edible. And what I was seeing online is if you let these blet, if you let them freeze and then defrost, they're supposed to be a little bit less bitter. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to clean these, strip them off this plant, and then put them in my freezer here in my Airbnb. I think you're supposed to let them freeze for like a long time, and you're supposed to like let them sit for a long time afterwards. There's like a process to doing this, but this will at least give me like an idea. So let's see what happens. Alright, so I pulled these out of my very tiny freezer here, and, well, let's see if that helped. These are frozen, but maybe they're less bitter now. I think they're like a little bit better, but not by much. I read that this should actually be frozen like on and off, like you freeze it and then you take it out, then you freeze it again, and keep doing that. I think that's supposed to help break it down. So that didn't quite do the trick, but I'm going to do one more thing to it to see if I can make it palatable, and that is cook it with sugar. So I've got a pot of water here, and it's just like a little bit, like 1 inch of water. I'm going to put these berries inside, let these boil for a second, and then I'm going to throw in some sugar. Not sure exactly how much to use here, just enough to sweeten it, I guess. I'm just going to put 3 tablespoons in there. And I'm just going to cook this for maybe like 10 minutes. Hello, friends. So I have cooked my rowan berries, and they are looking pretty good. It smells a little bit like apples, like applesauce or like hot apple pie, but not as good. But they have like a little bit of a like a spicy kind of smell. So I'm just gonna try a few of these. Still pretty bitter. I'm just doing this very roughly. There are recipes that have like week-long processes of preparing these things, and I didn't do that. I just cooked them in sugar. So freezing it took away a little bit of bitterness. Putting it in sugar would take away a little bit, and cooking it I think took a little bit away. So it's still bitter, but it's not nearly as bitter as taking it raw off the tree. But it needs to be prepared more. Saying that, the flavor is like a bitter baked apple or roasted pear or something like that. It's got a little bit of like an orange rind kind of flavor to it as well. It's not especially sour or citrusy, especially after preparing it like this, but it has like a little bit of a taste like if you were to take a bite out of an orange rind and an unripe apple. There's a seed. It looks kind of like it's a little bit white, a little elongated, kind of like an orange seed, I guess, or a lemon seed. Yeah, it's the sort of thing where I think if I had this tree growing, I would maybe wait until they were like perfectly ripe. These I think might be a little underripe, and go through the long process. Because the good thing with it is that these trees produce so much of this fruit. So one tree, you got like a gallon of jam, like right there, if you were to go through the process. So I would prepare like a huge amount of it if I had it like in my yard. To do it in like a small amount like this, it leaves a lot to be desired. but I think if you're to do it properly, it would be kind of like an apple jam, maybe with like a little bit of an orange marmalade thrown into it. There's potential here, but not quite hitting the mark with me with how I'm doing it, but I will keep my eyes open to see if I can find any prepared ROWAN jam. It is something that I believe people do sell in Finland, especially if you go to like farmers markets, so look out for that. So I did find some ROWAN berry jam, not in Finland, however. I found this on Amazon.com. Link in the description below if you want to try it yourself. And this is Uncle Roy's Scottish ROWAN jelly. And yeah, they got a website, uncleroys.co.uk. If you notice a lot of screaming or engine revving, police sirens, and stuff like that, it's because I'm back home, guys. I kind of miss the peacefulness of Finland. It was so nice and quiet there. It's so loud in New York City. It's been hard to adjust back. Okay. So anyway, this has not just ROWAN juice, it also has apple juice in it, water, and sugar. It says it has 21% ROWAN juice, which is interesting. I wonder if that is intentional in order to keep the bitterness down, because I can't imagine it's because ROWAN berries are that expensive or anything. It's probably just partially out of convenience and partially to get rid of some of that bitterness. Oh, this is very liquidy. I have my windows closed too. It's like amazing, these kids are so loud. This is like super gooey. You can like pour it out. This is more of like a syrup than a jam or a jelly. Let me put some on a piece of bread. And I can just like pour it, can't I? Oh god. Even through all the processing and being mixed with 79% apple juice, still a little bit of bitterness in there. I'm getting apples, orange rind, but more like the bitterness from orange rind rather than like actual citrusy sort of flavor. Maybe a slight bitterness, like an herbal kind of bitterness as well. And honey. Tastes a lot like a bitter honey. I think using this in different applications would be pretty good, like mixing it into a dessert, putting on some cheese, maybe, putting on some ice cream. I think you could probably take advantage of that slight bitter flavor the way that people might with like an orange rind. I think you could use that in a similar way. It's not the best thing in the world, but it is definitely unique. So if you have a chance, give it a try. All right, see you next time. Bye-bye. Go to bed. So here is another ROWAN berry of some kind. These ones appear to be a bit more red than the ones I had in Finland. I'm not sure if all species are edible, so I'm not going to try it, but it is here. And what's notable about this place is, number one, I'm in Canada right now, so these do grow in North America. And also, it's right by the world's largest axe. Because why not?